Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. My throat is about as clear this morning as it's been in like forever. Really thankful for that. Hope it stands up for the viewing or for the video this morning. We are continuing our study of the resurrection, 1 Corinthians 15. And we are comparing that with Romans chapters 5 to 8. We're in chapter 8. And I want to focus right now on something that Paul says. And that is, he said in regard to the work of the Spirit, you did not receive the spirit of adoption again unto fear, but you received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Now, what I want you to see is the direct relationship here between adoption and sonship and resurrection. Paul said they had received the spirit of adoption through that miraculous outpouring of the Holy Spirit. Then he turns around and says, the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the sons of God. We're the children of God. Well, how do you receive the spirit of adoption, and yet it said you are the sons of God? We have here the already but the not yet. Now, this is dealing with resurrection. Sonship and resurrection here, in this context, are absolutely interrelated. And let me give a little bit of background here. Paul is writing to the Romans. In the Roman world, and by the way, many sources say that the Jews did not practice adoption. So Paul is drawing on a Roman tradition here, a Roman practice. All that aside, in the Roman world, a patron, a wealthy individual, might decide that he would like to adopt the son of a family that he believed showed a lot of promise. And so he would approach the family, make the proposition. And if they agreed to that, all right, if they agreed to that, then they would all gather together on a public square in the city of Rome, and a public crier would declare, it is the intent of party A to adopt the son of party B. If anyone knows of any objection to this, let him speak now or forever hold their peace. And a period of time was allotted for objections to be stated, objections to be lodged. There was a waiting period of time. During that period of time, the child was considered the son of party A. The declaration had been made, but it was not final. But then, on the predetermined date, party A, party B, and the son to be adopted gathered together in that location, and the public official declared, it is the intent of party A to adopt the son of party B. No objections have been lodged, or to say all objections have been overcome. It is therefore determined that the child of party B is now the son of party A. That was the final judgment. That was the final declaration. From that point forward, party B had no claim whatsoever on that child. That's what Paul is drawing from in Romans chapter 8. And by the way, little anecdote, when my wife and I adopted our son, we took him, held him in our arms, and for 6 months, he was our son. We fed him, we clothed him, we protected him, we doctored him. But after 6 months, we had to go back before a judge, and it was called the final judgment. And that judge asked us, okay, is it fully your intent to take this son as your son from henceforth and forever, legally yours? Nobody has claim on him at all other than you. Is that your determination? We, of course, said, and gladly so, that is our desire. And the judge said, done deal. The final judgment was what the process that had begun 6 months earlier was now declared to be finished. Now watch this. In Romans 8, Paul says you have received the spirit of adoption. But wait a minute. In Romans 8:23, Paul says they were eagerly awaiting the adoption. Oh, wait a minute. If they've been adopted, why were they awaiting adoption? Because Paul's drawing on that analogy. He's drawing on that parable, if you please. He's drawing on that very real instance. And what had been done, they had been given the Holy Spirit, the miraculous measure of the Holy Spirit, as a guarantee that the final judgment would be, you are the sons of God. We must set Paul's declaration of the work of the Holy Spirit in that context. Because after all, he's going to be talking about they have received the first fruit of the Spirit. Well, the first fruit of the Spirit were the miraculous gifts of the Holy Spirit according to Acts chapter 2. So here we have a very distinctive, very powerful, very beautiful illustration of the already, but the not yet, of sonship. We have a very powerful connection between adoption and resurrection. And we have a very powerful declaration that it was the miraculous gifts of the Holy Spirit that had initiated the adoption process and was guaranteeing that process and would guarantee that process until the day of redemption. This is an incredibly rich subject. And of course, we've got more. In the meantime, I hope you get a copy of my book, The Resurrection of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 2, Fulfilled or Future. Go to my website, donkpreston.com, BibleProphecy.com, order a copy of the book. Be sure to mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. And oh, by the way, I'll include free of charge, for as long as they last, The Inheritance Bequeathed, The Law Deceased by Tony Denton. Because all of this is related. Because sonship and inheritance is absolutely inextricably bound up with one another. Okay, thank you so much again for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. You have a fantastic weekend. Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday.